Hello everyone, my name is Makeup by Plumtay and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are going to be testing a very new and exclusive product. I don't even know if it's exclusive, I just said that because it sounded snazzy. But I am so excited to give these a go. They all just look so good. And I do actually have all of the shades to show you and to swatch today. And the product we are going to be testing are the Morphe cheek frills. It says it's like a multi-finish face trio. If you haven't seen a lot of the similar versions going around, it's basically a cream, a illuminator slash shimmer, and then the powder. Yeah, I believe these are all of the shades that are inside of the box and all of the shades that are out currently. I haven't even touched this since I've received it. I've been waiting to film this video. But before we begin testing these new makeup products, I would love if you would consider subscribing. I do post at least once every single week. And also, if you're a big lover of makeup, and especially Morphe, which I definitely am, especially recently, have you seen all of their launches? I would love if you would leave a like. It does help me out a ton. And without further ado, let's get on with testing these new products. So as I mentioned in the intro, I have not even touched these blushes apart from to open them to get a cool photo, but I don't really know the consistency, I don't really know the formula, I don't know how they perform. I know zilch, and I really like it because it reminds me of the Revolution Beauty blush that I've tried before, where it has a little like compartment lid thing for the packaging so it won't smear, or I don't know, it's just nicely contained. So I was very kindly sent this by Morphe. I am on their PR list, so if there is anything else from Morphe that you'd like to see, I will definitely do a video on that for you. I got all the palettes, I've got some of the new cheek things. Cheek? No, this is that. I've got some of the new lip things like the pencils and the stylo. What do you call that, stylo? And now we're moving on to the cheek thrills. If I can do this without smacking my mic or knocking over the camera, that would be fantastic. Ta-da! So you can see that there is quite an array of colour, and I do like how they've gone with some lighter colours and some deeper colours for those who have a deeper skin tone and for those lighter. I just love all of them. I think they're so good, and just wait till you see the illuminators. Oh, it looks so good. I'm going to be doing a swatch of each of these on my hand, all three compartments, and then afterwards I'm going to pick one and put that to the test on my face. I have got a bit of powder on, but only for like my under eye area because I can get really creased without any powder, so that had to be done. That was necessary. That was a necessity. There we go. Got a bit of bronzer on, and that's really about it, apart from, you know, concealer. So all in all, there are 7 shades, and on the lid it says meet our viral sensation multi-finish face trio featuring 3 textures: a satin cream, a luminous balm, oh it's a balm, I wonder how that's gonna go then, and a velvet powder in monochromatic tones. Get a lit from within look by tapping the luminous balm over cheeks before layering the satin cream and velvet powder on top, which I will definitely give that a go. I might try it a couple different ways as much as I can on my face to just experiment and explore and see how it changes. First up, we got the shade Blind Date, and it's described as a mid-tone pink. In every single blush compartment there is a mirror. I haven't taken off any of the protective sheeting. As I said, I've literally not even touched it since I've received it. I don't know if you can tell based off the reflection of the ring light, but this was the protective compartment I was telling you about, so you can make sure that the creamy or balmy textures are staying safe. This is the first swatches. I can definitely see what they mean about the balm, and it's quite interesting. I'm intrigued to see the difference between the balm shade and texture versus the cream, because I suppose maybe the only big difference would be the illuminating aspect of it, but I quite like it. It doesn't seem to be the most pigmented product in the world, but I'm a big fan of that, and I wonder if it is buildable. Next up, we have the shade Cabana Club, and this is described as a vibrant watermelon. I don't know if that is particularly for describing the shade tone, or if that's describing the creamy and the balmy shades, like scent wise. They do have a nice scent, but I'm not picking up on any watermelon. I'm gonna assume it's because of the balm and just the overall vibe of it. Oh, dang, that one's vibrant. The next shade we're testing is one that I've been so excited to try, and this is in the shade Wine and Dine. Wait, I forgot to read what it said in the box. And of course, it's described as a rich berry. Of course, I could have guessed that. Can you see why it's my favorite? That balm in the middle, I can't. I'm in love with it. I think this would be such a great shade for deeper skin tones and even for lighter skin tones for the winter time. It will be the perfect combination for that nice flush that you tend to get in the colder seasons. This is Wine and Dine. I am in love. I'm definitely going to be using this a lot for the winter. I mean, even now for autumn, I think it's perfect. The one thing I haven't commented on yet is the powder shade. It's not necessarily more of a creamy powder, but I'd say it's definitely the middle between like you know those chalky powders where you feel like you're coughing up your lungs whenever you apply it. It's in between that and a creamy powder, which I think would go nicely because I suppose if you have a creamy powder on top of cream and balms, then that would just be way too much. Next we have Sunset Swim, and this is described as a nude bronze. I think even this is just so beautiful. The way that they've organized the creams, the balms with the powders, I think they've done such a great job because they're not all identical, which I'm a really big fan of. Imagine the illuminator, maybe even on top. I think you could definitely get away with using this as a highlighter in some aspects. But I think even this would be great for a bronzer shade. I keep calling them blushes, but they don't have to be used as blushes. Oh, imagine the shimmers over your eyes. I'm obsessed with these balms. Oh my god, look at that shine. Wine and Dine might have been topped. And this is the swatch for Sunset Swim. This has come out of the woodworks and possibly have taken the top place for my favourites out of these shades. As I was saying a second ago, the way that they've connected each of the shades, like the gold hint in the illuminator. I don't know if it's just me, but the powder in this one looks like it's shimmery too. And I don't know if it's been like that for all of them because I did not pick up on that until now. Similar to the last one, this one is called After Party and it's described as a nude rose. Even though it's quite similar to the other one, the name kind of gives it away. The one before was more of a bronze shade, whereas this is more hey, get back up. This one is more of that hint of pink, given in the name rose. I think this would actually be really perfect for bridal makeup. I've seen that a lot of brides do love that brownie but pinky tone-esque look, and this seems to fit it perfectly. That was probably the worst swatch I've ever done. Let me see if I can fix it up a little bit. This is the swatch for After Party. Do you see the difference between this and the one before? I adore these balms. I keep saying it, but I just can't believe how gorgeous they are. So it does seem like the balm is definitely more sheer, and I wonder how that goes with the balm. Wait, no, I'm getting them confused. The balm. Wait. Yeah, no, satin cream. The cream is the first one. Why did I get so confused? But I feel like I'm a little worried about the satin cream because it does not seem as pigmented, and given how luminous the balm is, I feel like this is kind of got to be made redundant in a way. My hand's all shimmery now, and I love it. Next up, we have something that I'm probably going to butcher the enunciation of, and it's après-ski. It's been described as a cool pink shade. Can you see that illumination? Oh, I'm obsessed with this. This is the satin cream shade up close. I would say this is quite similar to a lip glossy formula. I don't know why I was so aggressive with that. No. Stop it! That is stunning! And there we have a Après-ski. I'm so butchering that name, I'm so sorry. But here is the sheen, here's the shimmer. I think this one is the closest in terms of the tone consistency throughout the three compartments. I feel like the rest were a lot more obvious, but barring I would say the illuminator is more got a hint of a silvery glitter fleck, but they all just seem very similar. On to the last one now. The last shade we're going to be swatching is called Beach Bonfire, and it's been described as a coral peach. And I would say this product, or the shade, is more like a combination of a few that we've already tried. Do you see what I mean? Like, that's kind of like the nude rose, that's kind of like one of the golden ones. I mean, they're all very lovely with each other, especially this one. It's kind of like a combination of the rose, pink, and the bronze. Well, that's a big tone difference. Definitely seems a lot more pinky in the balm. So these are the shades in Beach Bonfire. I could say that this is the most different tones between the shades, because it seems like more of a bronze on the top one, then it goes more of a pinky, and then the bottom one is definitely more of a coral. I feel like the only really coral part about it is the bottom one, but even then, isn't coral more of an orange? I think I would have liked this to be more of that coral orangey aspect to it, because I think it is a mix-up of shades that we already have. I'm not saying it's bad, it's very, very lovely. Especially that rose gold balm in the middle. It's got the most beautiful gold flecks in it. But those were all of the swatches of the Cheek Thrills, and now I've got to choose one, and I'm eyeing up quite a few. I think it definitely has to be between the Blind Date, Beach Bonfire, or possibly even the après-ski. I feel like I'm putting that down purely just because I can't pronounce the name. I can't put myself and you through that. What goes better? I'm gonna go with the corally one, I think, which is fitting because it's the last one we swatched. Along with the Cheek Thrills, I was gifted a brush set, which you definitely don't need to use if you are also testing these out along with me. But I've got a little cloud sponge, which I'll probably use for the satin cream. And then we have the M204 cream and liquid blush brush for the satin cream, and then we also have this brush which is very, very fluffy, and this is the M201 powder blush brush. Right, so where do we start? With the illuminator. I will go in with that with, I can't remember what I just assigned. I'll go in with the puffy brush, dipping that into the balm. Oh, yeah, you can definitely see these flecks coming through on that, like the glitter flecks. Oh, I love that. Imagine you also had a glittery eye. That would go perfectly with this. So that's the illuminator done. Let's move on to the satin cream with these brushes. It feels illegal using a brush on a creamy balm. I don't know if it's made much a difference. I feel like it's changed the tone of it, definitely, and made it a bit more airbrushed. And now to set it all in place with the powder shade. I feel like this looks so lovely. It definitely seems really buildable, and you can have it as sheer as you want. Maybe that's why they gave the different consistencies, or you can definitely build it up. But I think to test it, I'm going to start with the satin cream on my left cheek just to see what it's like on its own, because you don't have to apply 3 of these shades. That's nice. Oh, that is really nice. For some reason that looks darker, although maybe that's because of the illumination. All right, illuminati time. Oh no, that's definitely made it darker. Why does my left side look much darker? And there we go. I actually really enjoyed using this product. Even though I don't think it's necessary to use all 3 every single time, I think it's nice to have the option to go in with whatever texture you want, because imagine you're off lounging in Spain or something. You're feeling a bit hot, so you don't want a thick powder, or I don't know, maybe you're currently me now and your skin is oily as hell, so you don't want a cream, then you go to the powder. Or you can even mix and match between the different shades. You don't have to stick to this one. So if you wanted more of a silvery shimmer rather than the gold fleck ones, you can go in with another shade like this one, which is the après-ski one. Oh my God, I don't know, I love it. You can really see the illumination right there. And I wonder if you can definitely use it as just a highlighter, because when you disperse it across the cheeks, it's definitely not as intense as when I swatched it onto my hand, but in like a good way. No, but I do love these. I really do recommend them. So that was my swatch and review of the new Morphe Cheek Frills Blush Bronzer 3-in-1 product. I do think the concept of this is really interesting. I really adored when I got my hands on the Revolution version, and I think these are all dupes of the Patrick Tar one. That's kind of a bit dodgy. I don't really know. I don't really delve much into high-end products, but I think that went through a bit of a formula change where it wasn't as good as the first few batches of them or something. I don't really know. But if you have the opportunity to, I would definitely recommend giving these a swatch, giving these a test yourselves. And I really want to have a go putting some of those shimmers onto my eyes, which I will definitely do at some point. I won't do it now. I spent so long trying to do this lioness shape, but eventually, in due time. But that will be it from me today. I really do hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out all of my other videos. And apart from that, I will see all of you in my next one.